you know, how are you going to grow if you don't want to look at what needs to
Yes.
be, talked about, and I just think that's part of growth.
It is.
Because nobody likes to be told that they didn't do something right or be corrected. But I just feel like, well, we're going to stay in the same place. We're not going to grow. I mean, truth has to hurt in order to challenge you and change you.
Right.
So
it's good.
Baby.
Just this question. So Marcus, how does it affect you in any kind of way when Patricia called you sensitive? Because men, I find, I don't think that men like to be called sensitive. How does that affect you, or did it affect you at all?
Hey man, what's going on, man? It's your boy Kev,
Tanya.
Man, we back with another episode of Couples Connect. Check it out. We got our family on the show tonight, man. My brother, my sister, man. Check it out. We're going all the way to the boot. We're going to Louisiana, boo.
The boot.
Yeah.
We're going to Louisiana, man. We're going to talk to our folks, man, about marriage, life, and how to make it do what it do. And you've been in this game for so long, So, guys, without further delay, man, let's welcome my brother, my sister, man, Mr. Marcus and Patricia Harris to the podcast. What's going on, people?
So happy to have you too.
I need a horn or something, boo. I need something to applause or something. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Team Harris?
What's going on? We're so happy to be here. Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here, and just looking forward to the conversation.
3 seasons. All right, just 3 seasons in, and here y'all. We finally here. You
all right, Pat? You all right?
Yeah.
She's good. She's doing a
Wait,
good
man. Well, check it out. Obviously, we know y'all, man. Y'all family. But maybe somebody else who watching this may not know who you guys are. Give them a little breakdown, man. How long you been married? How many kids? Tell them what the deal is, man.
Okay, we're Marcus and Patricia Harris, and we've been together 34 years on April 20th.
Hey.
High school sweethearts, of course. And we've been married, be 27 years, May 30th. And it's been absolutely amazing. You want to talk about the kids?
Yes, we have 3 children. A girl, Caitlin, she's 22. We have Peyton, she's 20. And we have Keelan, he's 13.
You guys still look like you're teenagers. How have you been married for 27 years and together for 34?
Well, first of all, I love you. Thank you for saying that about us. We're excited to enjoy life. I don't let stress get to me. It comes, but I don't let it consume me. So that's how I deal with it.
Yeah.
I try to live a healthy life. I love the Lord. I have great genes, and I teach kindergarten. So they keep me young as well.
Hey man, not many people want to add like I got great genes. That's how I look so good. They don't.
She woke up like that.
Yeah, she woke up like that, baby. So another cool fact, man, about you guys and us, right? We've been we all, well, except my boo, but we from Louisiana, New Iberia, right? I am too, and that's kind of where we. That's how I know where you guys. That's how I know you guys, and we've connected from back then. And it's kind of crazy because we really didn't connect until y'all were here in Dallas, actually.
That's right.
Which is kind of crazy. But so y'all lived here in Dallas for a little bit. Now y'all back in the boot, living life to the fullest. So we're a good deal, man. We're a good deal. So tell me this, man. Now with everything that you guys say, like 30 plus years in the game, y'all don't look it. Y'all look like y'all about 24, 25.
Thank you.
Man, how is married life treating y'all right now, man? I mean, that's a long time in the game of marriage, obviously dating a little bit. How long did y'all date before marriage?
We dated from 91 to 96. And then I proposed to her in 1996. We were engaged for 2 years, and we got married May 30th, 1998. And we've been together rocking ever since.
What made you propose to Pat, man? What was it about Pat that said, you know what? I'm ready to put a ring on it.
Well, the crazy part is I graduated in 1992 from Nish, and she was graduating in 93. So when I went off to go to New Orleans to go to college, she tried to break up with me, and I just wasn't having it. I knew she was the one, and And I'm so thankful. I stay true to that. And I said, I know you're the one, and you're not breaking up with me. So we wrote it out. I was in New Orleans. She decided to go to McNeese, and she was in Lake Charles, and we made it work. We continued to date after we after we went out to school, and it worked for us. And I'm so thankful we did, because it's been a great ride.
Why did I decide? Why did I want to break up with you?
Because
That was the question.
well, I was going to Dillard University, and she just assumed that I was going to go and, I guess, do the do while I was in New Orleans, and that's not what I wanted to go do. I wanted to get education. I mean, I had a good time, don't get me wrong, in New Orleans, but I really wanted to go get an education.
Well, I just felt like I didn't think a long distance relationship was going to work. It really was my first boyfriend, you know, and I'd never been away from him, and we did lots of things together. So if you're going to New Orleans, I'm going to Lake Charles, just cut it off. Let's be done. That's how I was thinking about it. You know, just cut it off right now. But he believed in the relationship. He believed that we could make it work. And we just decided to give it a try.
And she was my best friend. I mean, I thought she was the smartest person I've ever met. And I fell in love with the way her mind, the way she thought, and the way we just connected, and we wanted more out of life. We both came from rough situations. You know, my mom was divorced, bad situation with my dad. And so I wanted a marriage. In fact, I looked at what my dad did as far as being a husband and being a father, and I just did the opposite. That was my, I guess, roadmap to having a good life. I just did the complete opposite. Down to the 49ers, because, you know, my dad was a Cowboys fan. And so because he was a Cowboys fan.
Hey, man, listen, bro. Wait. Hey, bro. Hey, ain't you nothing about no football, no 49ers or none of that.
I'm showing what I did because I
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay, Mark. 49ers, man. Okay.
You see this color thing
So,
you got sitting on your lap?
Anyway, so Pat, how was life with your mom, your dad, in terms of in marriage? Did you have come from a solid foundation where marriage was no?
There was no marriage. My mom was not married. She had me. I really don't know what they were. I think it was a situationship. I don't really know what it was because she never talked about it, and she never was interested in telling me any details about it. But I do know that they obviously hooked up. I was formed. I don't think they were together after that. And if not, maybe not much longer. I know my dad's mom wanted them to get married because it was the right thing to do. My mom didn't want to do that. So I never lived with my dad. I was always with my mom, and I don't think she was too happy with the relationship. And that was it. Years later, my mom married, and that wasn't a good example. That was drugs. That was alcohol. That was lots of fighting, lots of cursing, lots of violence. That's how I got the name Nervine, I think. Because in high school, they used to call me Nervine. But they didn't realize why I was so nervous and fast. And I didn't realize it until later on in life. I'm like, oh, I probably was full of anxiety. I was probably I knew I was scared, probably scared a lot. So we had that going on in my house. So single mom, then became a part of an very abusive relationship. And then she divorced, and later on she got married again. And I wouldn't call that a healthy marriage. It was just kind of different, but it worked for her. So no, I didn't want to do that.
Wow. So with all those different scenarios of marriage that didn't seem like it was a healthy situation, and none of them, how did that kind of skew your viewpoint a little bit about marriage at all?
Absolutely not. I feel like I don't know why, I just think maybe God just gave me the desire, but I just always wanted a family. I always wanted to do family things. I always wanted holidays and celebrations, which we never really had that. The holidays and celebrations we had ended up with somebody going to jail, going to the hospital, or both. The house was always split apart. Somebody, you go here, you go there. So I just never wanted that because it just never felt good to me. It never made me happy. It never brought me joy. So I just felt like, you know what? I just want a different lifestyle. As far as even before Marcus was in the picture, like even for my little sisters, I was always the mama. I was always the nurturer. I was always the picture taker. I was always the one combing their hair. I was always thinking about things about them. When I got to college, I gave them their first birthday parties. They never had birthday parties. So there are things like that, celebrations. When Marcus and I started dating, we would take them to the park or take them on a little vacation to Houston. So that was something that was always in me. And I think it was because it was a lack. So I don't think I ever had the desire to create the same thing my mom created for me. For whatever reason, she created that or allowed it to happen. I just didn't want that. I just wanted the opposite. So when we were dating seriously, we just spent a lot of time talking about what family looked like for us, what you would want your family to look like, what would you want your life to look like. And we had many, many things and similarities that we wanted to do outside of what we had. And that's just how it began. And I just thought that I liked the way he talked. He was cool. He was so positive. He was so inspiring. And I never heard that. You know, there were guys that liked me or they were interested in me, but I wasn't as interested in them as they were in me. So I really didn't see anything long or futuristic. But with Marcus, he was just calm. He was cool. He was very cute to me. I never said handsome. He was very cute. And he was, but at that time you say cute, you know, we're teenagers. And he just said a lot of the things that I needed to hear. Because like I said, my mom was always negative, which I understand. It was just her world that she was in. She was always scared of stuff. Marcus was always calm. He always was positive, had some great things to say. So I just liked listening to him, and we talked a lot.
So Marco, tell me, man, you say you want to do opposite of what maybe your dad, you said?
Yeah.
Or you say you want to do or opposite of what you were around or what you see.
What I saw growing up, I just wanted better. From down to my uncles and broken marriages. I just wanted, and again, canceling out and breaking generational curses because divorce was high. I mean, most of my family, they ended up in divorce or they never got married. So I didn't know what a healthy marriage even looked like. I did have a cousin that got married and we was looking up to them for a while. And then they got divorced. I'm like,
we're so disappointed.
And it was a gut check because I'm like, wow, we was looking up to them and they looked like they had it going on, and it really kind of crushed us. And recently, I had to share that with both of them how much that impacted us because that put a little fear in us. Because like if they didn't make it, we gonna make it. But from the jump, I would say that I told her before we got married, I said, if you leave me, I'm coming with you. So I'm gonna pack my bags and we're gonna go together. And we also took divorce off the table. So that wasn't even a conversation throughout our marriage. And we both wanted more out of life. We wanted to raise our children. I always wanted to be in the same house with my children. It didn't matter. So like I said, if she did leave me, I'm coming because I'm gonna be in the house with my children. So that's something I value because of the impact with my daddy being out of the house and how it impacted me growing up and my younger brothers. So I just wanted more out of life. And we really were friends. I mean, we were just close friends. We talked about everything and anything. We still do. So our communication is on point. It can get better, of course, but it was on point from the beginning. We were truly friends for the first year, just friends, not dating, not talking about nothing, not doing nothing crazy, just a friend. And we really got to know each other. And we set a good, solid foundation, which we grew upon and built and developed into to what you see now.
This is the first time I've heard a couple or a spouse say that their communication is on point. Because just about everybody we talk to, they have issues with communication. So
it's a critical point. It's a critical piece that's a lot of times it's missing. I mean, we communicate about everything. Sometimes I don't want to communicate about that or those things because, my wife talks a lot. But I've learned to listen, and I've learned to listen to understand what she's saying, not just listening to get a word in or to get my point across. I try to listen to really understand what she's saying so I can feel her heart and really come back with something that can aid or we can build off of.
I would say as far as communication, it's on point, but it wasn't always on point.
Right.
We always had great, strong communication skills. Sometimes we're better than others. Like for one thing I know, I felt like was a challenge for Marcus. Because I always say, can you hear my heart? Can you understand? Because he'll hear it, but he won't necessarily empathize with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll hear it, but are you feeling what I'm saying? Because he may not understand how something may hurt me or how something may have affected me. He'll hear it, but he may not understand, and he'll try to fix it. But I want him to just understand and feel what it is I'm saying. So if I have to talk about the same thing over and over and over and over, we'll just do that until he really, really understands my heart. Because a lot of the issues come from the heart. And if you don't fix it, guess what? It's going to keep happening. So we talk about a lot.
And that was a process. And I hope I've gotten better. I know
Work in progress.
Yeah, I'm still a work in progress because, again, communication is something that you build on. And I think we've gotten better over time. Of course, we've been together a long time, but I think in time we've gotten better and we're in a better place now. And we can still get better.
Yeah, we will.
Get better.
We are.
Yeah. And it's good to improve and continue to improve and don't just stay stuck in I'm good. Because I want a great marriage. I told my wife this weekend, I want a phenomenal marriage. I want a marriage that we can be proud of and that others can see and look to and say, you know what, I want a marriage like that, because we want to be great examples of who we are in Christ and who we are for each other.
A part of good communication skills has to do a lot with how intelligent you are emotionally. There is an article called Lost Boys, and it talks about the disconnection when it comes to being emotionally intelligent. How do you feel about like you and your emotions? Patricia, is Marcus, how would you feel? How would you describe his emotions when it comes to him listening to your heart and understanding where you're coming from?
Well, Marcus is very sensitive.
Okay.
He's very sensitive and he wants to please me in every way possible. So I have to be very careful because I don't want to hurt his heart in being truthful and honest, but yet I have to be truthful and honest. So a lot of times I have to be very, very easygoing with my words, but sometimes it doesn't come out like that because I'm like this. And his feelings will get hurt, but he'll come back.
I'll bounce back.
He'll bounce back. Let me say it.
I know.
He'll bounce back and then he'll apologize or he'll be like, okay, I'm sorry for shutting down or I'm sorry for cutting you off. What is it that you were trying to tell me? So I guess what I'm saying is that was a hard part. Like some years ago, that was a hard part because he would put everything on his shoulders because I don't know if he thought he was just Mr. Perfect, did everything right. How could you say I did this wrong or I made you feel what? Even though it may not have been something he's done intentionally or out of malice, but boo, you're not perfect. You will make mistakes. You will disappoint me. You will mess up just like I will too. So just take the constructive criticism, learn from it and grow. So I think he's grown a lot and I know he has to continue to grow just like I will. But yeah, he's still very sensitive. I just think that's how God made him. But I just need to be more tactful sometimes or wait for the right time, say it in the right tone. That's what he always says. You can tell me anything in the right time with the right tone. Sometimes it's not the right time or the right tone. I just, and go straight to his heart, but it's coming from my heart because I need him to know and feel. So yeah, he's getting there. He's getting better. He's gotten a lot better. Work in progress.
And I think that goes back to me trying to not be like my dad or be what he was to my mom. I think it goes way back to then where I tried to not necessarily be perfect, but I don't like messing up. I never did. I like to get it right. So when I do, my feelings would get hurt because my wife is going to tell the truth regardless if I want to hear it or not. And she, to me and anybody else, they're going to hear the truth. And I appreciate, and that's one thing that I truly love about her because she's going to tell it like it is. You never have to guess with my wife where she at. She tell you where she's staying. And sometimes I'll just be like, ooh, but I did that right and that right. But I got to understand that it's not even about that and that. It's about what she's feeling in this moment and what needs to be dealt with. So,
well, that's good. I'm glad to hear you say that. Because I go, what about the time when no, that's not the time we're talking about right now. This is what happened. Yeah. So, yeah, he likes to say, well, the example he'll give about like if he, I get so tired of this example. So that's like when I got my report card. Or if a child gets a report card, they make all A's and they make one B. They want to talk about the B. We're not worried about the B. Well, no, if he makes all A's, you want to point about the B, but what about the A's? Yeah. But just let's fix the B.
Yeah.
How are you going to grow if you don't want to look at what needs to
Yes.
That's right.
Talked about,
Correct.
and I just think that's part of growth.
It is.
Because nobody likes to be told that they didn't do something right or be corrected. But I just feel like, well, we're going to stay in the same place. We're not going to grow. I mean, truth has to hurt in order to challenge you and change you.
That's right.
So
That's good.
Go ahead, baby.
Just this question. So Marcus, how does it affect you in any kind of way when Patricia called you sensitive? Because men, I find, I don't think that men like to be called sensitive. How does that affect you, or did it affect you at all?
It doesn't. I mean, I've always been a rap trans man. I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good with that because I know who I am. When it comes to that area, I am sensitive. My son's sensitive. My children's sensitive. I'm just a sensitive person, and it didn't affect me negatively. I think it was more about her just touching those areas that most people can't touch. Where somebody can tell me something, it doesn't even matter. I used to put it like this. She got on my nerves. She made me sick. That's what I loved her so much, because what she said and what she says matters so much to me. Where somebody else can say the exact same thing, doesn't even matter. I don't care. But because I care so much, it matters. That's why it hurt me. But it hurt me enough to challenge me to change and to be better.
Good.
That's good. So, go, Pat.
Okay, Tanya, you ask about if me calling him sensitive, which is what he is. Like I said, God gave him that, and I'm glad. I'm thankful for that, because he can be cold-hearted with no feelings at all, insensitive. But back in the day in high school, there was a word he didn't like that I called him. You want to know what that word was? I said, "You're so nice."
Oh, that would be nice.
I'm putting him in the friend zone. But that was so attractive to me. That was so appealing to me. He was so nice, and he was really offended. I think he was in the 12th grade. He was really offended. But my son is so nice.
He is.
Keelan is so nice, and there are not enough nice people in this world. So I don't know if he was thinking I was trying to just put him in the corner but he was very nice, and he's still very nice. So he's not offended by me.
I'm good with nice now.
Yeah, nice now. But back then, he didn't want to be nice. I'm like,
I thought I was going in that friend zone and going to stay there.
I think that's what it was.
I didn't want to be.
And he wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
So Marcus, you had to make some changes, man, knowing the type of woman that you married because of her being very honest and transparent and speaking her mind at any time, not, and of course, I'm pretty sure it wasn't always a matter of her speaking her mind, just with a negative connotation behind it, right? Trying to really hurt people, intent, a bad intent behind it. I'm just being transparent. I'm being honest.
Truthful.
Pat, did that challenge? How was that? So, because Marcus had to adjust to that. Like, hey, this is the woman I married. She's telling me she's the only one that's come at me like that. So you kind of had to really accept who that woman was, right? And understand that that's just how my wife is, and maybe adjust to maybe understanding some of the things that she would say that would maybe be a little bit, a little touchy to you. You had to kind of really make some adjustments in your own personal DNA of who you are because of the woman she is.
Right.
Pat, did you have to make any changes to you with the fact that, hey, I'm just so open and transparent and honest? Did you have to make any challenges? Did you feel any challenges your way that you had to change in some type of way because you knew that your husband was a sensitive guy?
I'm still challenged to change. I'm still changing.
Yeah.
And one of the tools we got this weekend, I just went blank.
That's okay.
What was it about? Oh, he asked me this weekend about a boundary that I need to respect when it comes to talking about certain things. And I said, I'm going to do just that. He has boundaries, and you should have boundaries in your marriage too, within reason. His boundary was, can we not talk about this at this time? Can we talk about this at this time? And I said, please forgive me for not respecting your boundaries. I will do better. How does it make you feel when I do not respect the boundaries that you've asked me to respect? And he just told me, I feel disrespected, or I feel like uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about it. Like, you don't want to hear what I'm saying. So yes. So I'm still working on that. So I'm going to respect his boundaries. If he doesn't want to talk about things, like in the mornings, when I wake up, I'm ready to talk. Marcus is not.
I don't.
you know?
Just ease into the morning.
So that's a boundary, ease into the morning.
I need to.
Let him brush his teeth. The bathroom is a quiet time for us. When we choose to, we bathe together. We've been bathing together for a long time. So I don't know if that's TMI. But
Wait, when you say bathe together, y'all take showers together?
I said bathe. We don't do showers very often. We take baths together. Showers
Really?
not here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baths. Okay. Well,
That's some secret sauce stuff right there.
Yeah. That's been going on forever. It's very uncommon for us not to. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very uncommon
It
for
is.
us not to. And
we take showers together.
Okay, that's good.
yeah, but you see, I'm not a shower person. So Marcus, if he wants to be with me, he'll come in the bath. Now, if we're somewhere away, like at a getaway or something, we're not going to take a bath because that's not our tub, but we'll take showers. But yeah, we take baths. And for me, I don't even know how we got on this subject, but for me, I like to talk in a bathtub. He likes to relax.
Relax.
And sometimes I talk
bubbles and everything. I want
the jets. Yeah. And sometimes I want to talk about things that are too heavy. But I want to get it off my heart because it makes me feel better. But he doesn't want to talk about that because he's in there to relax. But talking's relaxing for me. So it's just trying to find a healthy balance and respect his boundaries and him meeting my emotional needs. Because I have to talk. Because like I tell him, if I don't tell you, who am I going to tell? I have to tell someone. So it's you. So yeah, I'm working on my boundaries. I'm working on my tact and my timing and my tone. So I'm still working on it. I think I've gotten a little better.
Yeah.
I plan on getting better because I think I'm going to be a work in progress forever, because of my personality and my temperament. But we can't use that as example, not as excuses to just unload on your spouse. But he's it pretty much, But I don't want to push him away or make him put walls up because I want to keep our line of communication healthy and open. So I need to do what I need to do.
Yeah. It's good.
Man, that's a beautiful thing, man, to be able to get to a point, right? And maybe, well, I don't know. Let me ask: have you guys always been to this level of open and transparency, of being able to communicate the way you do now about those deep things? Like having a moment saying, "Hey, these are my boundaries. I don't want to talk about these things at this time, whatever." And Pat being mature enough to be like, "Oh, okay, I get it. I accept it. I apologize. I'm gonna do better." Right? That's that's grown folks talking right there, right? Because that's just not, because most people like us, even our early days, that you know what I'm saying, it's like it probably just wouldn't be communicated in that way. Were you always open with your transparency and communication to that level, even early on in the marriage? If not, what did y'all do to get to this point?
I don't think we were always there because we're always not almost 50. We're growing in Christ, number one. I don't want to say always, but we've been around lots of married, healthy Christian people. We try to go to conferences. We go to, we have small group with couples. So we're trying to always learn what to do, what not to do. And I think that came with time. I think early on, things were brand new and fresh. So I don't know if we really had big problems early on, but I think as life happens, we were already hooked up to the Lord and anchored with people we could get advice from. Not necessarily talk to them, because I'm not really a talker when it comes to my personal private stuff, but within the group, because we're not leading, we're just in the group, I'm listening. And I'm picking up little nuggets and things, and we bring it into our marriage, what's going to be helpful to us, beneficial to us at that time or in the future. So no, we've not always been like that, but I don't think life was really, really difficult at the beginning. I think it was simple. We were in love. We didn't have kids for a long time, which gave us time to enjoy ourselves as married couples. It gave us time to learn, make mistakes, to grow. And we always had a level of respect. He never called me out of my name other than baby, stuff like that. Because I never called him out of his name except Marcus. you know, because I never had pet names or nicknames. I don't know, they just never stick. But we always had respect. And because respect, we just never got out of order with each other. Even before, I would say, salvation, we just never got out of order, because I saw that happen so much. He saw that happen so much. And when we became Christians, I remember we were somewhere, probably a marriage conference, I don't know. But the pastor would say stuff like, name denotes character. Words are powerful. If you don't want an old lady, don't call her old lady. Don't say my old man get off of work at 6 o'clock. Say my husband gets off at 6 o'clock, or say my love, or whatever. But don't say my old man, because he's going to be just that, your old man. And things like that really stuck. I'm like, oh, because I sure don't want to be an old woman. Don't call me that, you know. So just little things like that. We just picked up wisdom from people who did it right, who did it wrong. Yeah. And we just packed it somewhere in our brains or in our hearts, and picked it up when we needed to.
Yeah.
Say this.
You mentioned something, man, because I noticed you know, you guys' journey on social media, and plus, you know, we in the you guys, us, the Fosters, we're in this little text group we've been having for a couple of years now. But on social media, you know, I've noticed, like, in the last couple of years, probably a bit longer now, you guys have been connected to other couples, married couples, doing the retreats, doing some pretty cool stuff, man. And I would, you know, and that lets me know that you guys are truly intentional about your marriage, about staying connected, about continuing to working on it, about continuing to grow. How important is that to you guys, man, of being surrounded with other, you know, couples, like-minded couples, to better your marriage? How important is that to you guys?
It's invaluable. It's invaluable, because, again, you invest in what's important to you, what matters to you. You invest in it, and our marriage is important to us, and we invest in it. Going to the conferences, going like to this retreat, and, you know, it was a point in our life when we did struggle, when we were going through like the roommate syndrome, I guess you can call it, and it was rough. But we had strong couples around us. We just didn't lean into them. And we had to literally go through a season where we felt isolated and alone, like it was just us. And we would just go to work, bring the kids to whatever they have to go to. And I mean, we hardly talked. There was little to no communication, little to no sex life at all. And it felt like a long season. And I remember reaching out to our pastor, and I just told him, I said, I don't know what to do. And he invited us to a small group, his small group. And we sat there for, I guess, the summer, 4 to 6 weeks, whatever the semester was. And we came out of that realizing, you know what? We've stopped investing in ourselves. We stopped investing in what we started with. So we started going on dates more, which are super important. Dating your spouse and spending time and reconnecting with them. And we started a group called Date Your Mate, where we would have couples come over, a small group, and we'll do a Bible lesson or teaching, and then we'll go and exhibit that through going dancing, learn how to dance, or we go paintball or bowling or whatever it was. We'll go in and create an experience out of what we've learned in a small group. And I think that took our marriage to another level, another place, because we reconnected by helping other couples reconnect, kind of like what you guys are doing right now, you know. And it made such a difference. And since then, we've stayed connected to strong couples, and we've become a little more transparent with them in the conversations we've had, so that, you know, they can somewhat, in a quote unquote, hold us accountable, because that's another big piece of it. Being around strong, healthy Christian couples, if possible, have that accountability piece, and continuing to invest in your marriage, like the dating, just going out and going to eat, or going walk in a grocery store, going walk in Walmart together and holding hands, and just keeping that alive and fresh. And it's pretty cool, man. I really enjoy it. But I really want to speak on this, Kev, if you don't mind. She did mention about the name. Her name denotes character. And I can truly say I've called my wife what I wanted my wife to be. I call her beautiful, and I call her sexy, and I call her my lover, and I call her my love, girlfriend. And my girlfriend. She's still my girlfriend. And I call her exactly what I want. And so many times I've seen my uncles or in the past where they said, oh, my old lady or my old ball and chains or all these things that I'm like, you want that? Because I don't want an old lady. I want my beautiful teenage looking wife. Look at her. And and I was thinking as I was driving home, I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful, that God trusts me with her, trusts me with her heart and who she is as a person. I'm thankful to God for, him blessing me to be able to love on her and to be, the husband of her life, so.
This episode of Couples Connect is sponsored by Just Like You Hair Care System. Introducing Just Like You Hair Care, the perfect solution for healthy, growing, moisturized hair. Our hair growth oil is enriched with essential oils like calendula, lavender, rose petals, also enriched with nourishing jojoba oil, promoting growth, reducing breakage, and restoring scalp health. Follow with our moisturizing leave-in cream to lock in hydration for smooth, manageable hair all day long. So you get to feel confident with thicker, stronger, and deeply moisturized hair. Our products are made with all natural ingredients and is designed for women or anyone who want a holistic approach to hair wellness. Shop today and experience the transformation. Just Like You Hair Care, your hair, your confidence, and your journey. The link is in the show notes. Now back to the episode.
Yeah.
That was so sweet.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, man.
That was real. It was real.
So sweet.
So tell me, man. So just to backtrack just a little bit, you mentioned, the roommate phase that y'all had to go through. What did that look like for you guys, man? In terms of like feeling like you were just roommates. What was the environment like in the Harris household when y'all was going through that season?
You want to give you a time?
I really don't remember it, to tell you the
Ooh,
truth.
that's God. That's God's grace.
I really don't, but you're going to have to tell me. Because I really don't remember. I just know Marcus has a higher sex drive than me. It's always been that way. Perry, oh well, it's still happening, but I think with him, he's mature. There are other things we could do.
Like what?
Uh-oh.
That's another episode.
Hey.
I'm just saying, that's just another episode. But
okay.
there are other things you could do.
Okay, I'm gonna rescue you. Okay. Yeah. So
Marcus said, I'm gonna rescue you.
During that phase, it was very it felt like we was going in a very bad place, and it was scary because I had never experienced that. Knowing what we've talked about not bringing the D word, divorce, into our conversations, and not cursing each other out or calling each other out of their names or any of that stuff. It wasn't any of that. It seemed like we were just going bad fast, and we was taking care of the kids and bringing them to practices and basically just missing each other. Routine stuff just to kind of paying the bills and going to work. There was very little communication. We went to bed and went to sleep. So I mean, there was nothing. I mean, and it felt like a long time. It might have been.
I think it probably felt worse for Marcus again. If Marcus is not feeling, and he's a very affectionate person.
I am very affectionate.
If Marcus is not being touched or talked to sweetly or his sexual needs aren't being met, 2 days might feel like 20 years.
An eternity.
And he felt rejected a lot. And that's not what I really wanted to do. A lot of times it was just I wasn't interested, or I was tired, or whatever. And he would hold his feelings in, and then he'll be like this. So whatever the time span was, which I'm not trying to minimize it because that was his feelings, whatever the time span was, it just felt like, I think in his mind, extra long. Yeah. So I really don't remember the roommate phase. I remember going through a roommate phase because we would talk about it. because we just weren't as intimate as a married couple should have been. And our conversations probably were not as happy as they should have been. And it probably didn't bother me as much as it did him because, again, we had different sexual needs. But I think reconnecting with dating each other and just being intentional about making time, talking, going places outside of the kids, and again, being around other people who went through similar things and we could trust to talk, which I probably didn't talk.
But you did mention about the rejection thing. And that's a big piece. I did feel rejected. I felt like I wasn't wanted. Again, it goes back to my childhood though, because I felt like my dad rejected me. And so I think it kind of was living out what I didn't want to ever feel rejected like that again. That's why I got married, in some aspect. And when my wife was rejecting me in that area, I didn't know how to handle that. So I shut down. And because I'm so sensitive, it hurt even deeper back then and longer. And so if you would say no, I would be like crushed. And I know there's a lot of men feel that same way. And I had to discover that there's more to us than just sex. Now I enjoy making love to my wife and, being intimate with my wife, but there's so much more. And we can go in an even deeper, more intimate place, if it's not just about sex. So I've learned that, even with her going through Peri and me doing research and sending her articles and videos and stuff, because I wanted to educate myself, because I wanted to understand what she was going through so I can be there for her and not feel the rejection or continue to feel the rejection because of what she's dealing with. And I think that helped us. But no excuses. Yeah. But I think that helped me, and I think that helped us, grow deeper, intimately, not just sexually, but intimately.
Man, that's pretty dope, man, that you took time to really try to understand what she was going through to kind of, just better deal with what you were actually feeling, right? Because as a result of what she was going through. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, man, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope, man. Listen, the things that you guys are talking about right now, man, and I'm just thinking about our initial conversation is like, hey, what are we going to talk about? And just to hear what you guys are talking about now, man, that's amazing, man. This is the stuff that couples need to hear because that's transparent. Marcus is saying, hey, I was frustrated because I wasn't being sexually, my needs weren't being met. That's real. That's real talk. This woman is going through Peri. I mean, she still take care of your boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't really deal with it like that. But I know there are moments that she have her moments of not truly being, wanting to do it or anything like that. So it's when you're in that phase, it becomes really a matter of you got to be able to communicate. You got to be able to talk about it. You got to be able to be sensitive to her needs and what she's going through and dealing through. And it is something that men, we need to educate ourselves on because we don't really know what that feels like, So to see that you guys kind of work through that, man, and kind of still moving, how are you guys dealing with the whole Peri situation now? Or where you at with it, Pat? Are you still in that Peri phase or what? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I'm still in it. I've been in it since I'm going to be 50. So I've been in it since about mid to late 30s, but didn't know what that entailed. Because when I would tell my gynecologist things, he was also my obstetrician, he delivered Keelan, he would just say, you're going through perimenopause and give me some little definitions and me just not, I don't know what I was, I guess immature, just taking it. Well, how long does this last? Oh, it could last XYZ. Again, very mild things. As the years are going down the road, I think it hit me more so a few years ago. The not hot flashes, the nights prickly sweats at night, waking up in the middle of the night and in the bed just soaking wet, and of course the sex drive, I feel like I'm coping with it as best as I could. I think it's better because I take magnesium. I think it helps with my mood. My people said I was moody, but I didn't think I was moody. But I think it helps with the sleeping. I turned the thermostat down to 68. So I'm thinking it's pretty mild, and we're going to, we do what we need to do when we need to do it. But, if it's Tuesday, because we went to a marriage conference and the pastor was talking about Tuesday's the day, but being intentional, write a date a day that works for you and just do it. So if we can't get to Tuesday, I said, we're just going to call it Tuesday. You choose the day. Because Tuesdays come and go fast. So it doesn't have to be a Tuesday. Tuesday, you choose the day. Let's just get it done, because you do have to connect with your spouse. I love connecting with my husband, but sometimes it's like the before is a problem. The after is a problem. You just have to just be intentional and just do it. And then I'm glad I did once I did. But it's just the effort, making an effort. Because it starts here. It starts here. Whereas with him, he just can whenever.
Let's go.
But it starts here. And it takes a minute. But I think I'm working through it fine. Do you think I'm working through it better?
You are. Yeah. We're in a much better place. I mean, because we understand it more. Mm-hmm. I'm more understanding. And because I want to continue to connect with my wife, and I don't want to ever make her feel shame of her going through what she's going through, because that's natural. That's something that all women experience. Most women experience.
I think what it was the not knowing at first, not knowing what was going on. Again, I really didn't think it was major or a big deal, but I think the not knowing. And then once I started learning about it within the last couple of months, maybe, it just makes sense. And I know what it was, the grief that I was going through because of my mom and my dad. I realized you're going through grief and perimenopause because all the symptoms are kind of sort of the same. So I think it started becoming more revealing to me in 23. Both my parents died. And so I think that's when the definitions and the names started becoming more sensible to me and more real. I'm like, oh, so I'm doing both. Because they pretty much, the brain fog, the lethargicness, the stress and grief make your hair fall out. You have that. The mood swings, the irritability, So I think I'm doing well. I think I'm navigating well because I think it all starts with knowledge. Because if you don't know what to expect, if you don't know what something is, then you're just really going through it 50 times worse. So, and I'm talking to people and I see people are going through the same thing like me, sometimes even worse. And I just do what I can. And I think we're going to make it. We're making it.
I'm so proud of you.
I think the brain fog, it was so scary for me. I don't know if I even told Kevin this, but it was so scary for me. I actually thought I was having some Alzheimer's experiences. That's how bad I was forgetting stuff. Like even now, sometimes I want to say something, I can't remember what it is that I want to say. And you feel it. For me, I feel a little shame around it, and I feel a little like intimidated because I can't remember what I wanted to say. And that's really bad for me right now. So I have to put everything in my reminders. And when he asked me to remember something, I was like, I can't. Do not trust my mind right now. Put it in your reminders. But that's bad for me right now. So I'm really working on taking vitamins and stuff for my brain fog. But I love what you say, Mark, is about it's not just about sex. You found other ways to be intimate with your wife because you understand now what's happening with her. So it's not about sex. It's about finding other ways, whether that's cuddling together or, like you said, walking and holding hands together. And I think that is good for you to say that because there are other ways that we can explore one another.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then we don't have to connect just through sex, It's other ways. We have dinner or I'm just looking at you.
No substitute. I get what you're saying, Ken, because I saw your face. But you gotta do
every time we start talking about sex and she starts talking about it ain't just about sex. She always looking at me.
I wasn't looking at you for that. I'm just looking at you. That's all. I'm just connecting with you right now. That's
okay.
I'm not saying that's you because you are good in that space with me. I mean, it took us a minute to get there, but you are good in that space with me. So I just wanted to say that.
I think the biggest thing is what's helping us. I think with that piece of it, while she's going through the peri phase, and what's helping to for us to kind of cope with the sex piece is, I think that we are also in a certain place in our marriage where we're trying to automatically connect, in different ways, even if the peri wasn't even a thing for her right now. So because we're intentional about connecting in other ways, no matter what, I think it's helping to also kind of fulfill some of that intimacy, right, without the actual physical connection of it, right? That we can still connect and still find fulfillment in one another. That's still, that's still having us connected in a certain kind of way. That's still bringing us joy, So it's just the space that we in. It's just where we at right now, So, but tell me this, man. So, you guys been in the game for a long time, man. Married. You know, what do you think? What do you think is your strongest point as a couple? Like when people look at Pat and Marcus, what do you want people to see?
That's a good question. No, I think our life speaks for itself. I think the positive message that we spend, even what my wife puts on social media, because I hardly post if it's not just something encouraging, but just the positive, to just enjoy life. Because a lot of times you get caught up in, like, the roommate phase. I was, going back to just, dealing with the kids and paying bills and going to work, but forgetting to enjoy each other and date each other and you just be around each other, because you just get caught up. And what I would like for us to continue to always do is just have fun. Because even as Christians, I've seen many couples like, well, we can't do that, we can't do that, we can't be Christian. No, you can still enjoy life. We love to travel. We love to go eat, different places. We love to dance and enjoy ourselves, as you can tell in my 50th party.
Do the best I can.
We want to show that you can have fun. Even at 34 years of dating, 27 years of marriage, we can still enjoy life together, because, we want to grow old together. We want to grow old together healthy, wise, wealthy, and we want to be in a really good place. So if we can show that, you can still have fun, FUN, and be a Christian married couple, I think that gives other couples hope, because you don't have to be a dead, boring couple just because you give your life to Christ. It's because you give your life to Christ that you should be enjoying it even more.
Have a full, abundant life.
Yes.
Because that's what he would want. Bring glory to his name. When people see you, they should see the light, and the light comes from Christ. The people who hosted the event this weekend said, y'all are so full of joy. Well, the joy of the Lord is my strength. We just want to have fun.
They called us newlyweds.
Yes, they thought we were newlyweds when we signed up.
Newlyweds.
Yeah.
Wow.
I took it. I said, yeah, we newlyweds.
Well, I didn't know. I was just so happy to be there. I don't even know what the lady asked me. And Marcus said, well, you agreed? You said, yeah. I'm like, I was just happy to be there. So I don't know what she had said. But, it's just, life is hard.
It is.
Life is very, very hard. And we've had a hard few years. But within those years, I think that's when we upped up our activity level, as far as let's do things together, you and me. Let's go here. Let's go explore this. Let's go experience this. Because life has been so hard for us, and not because of anything we did. Life is just hard. And because of that, where you want to go.
Let's go.
What you want to do. Where you want to eat. Because we only have one life.
That's right.
So we're going to enjoy it to the best of our abilities. And we bring people along with us. If they want to come on. If you don't want to come, okay, we're still going to do it. We invited, 5 or 6 couples to come. Well, we invited a lot of couples, but 5 or 6 decided to come, and they were kind of nervous about it. But Sunday, they were all like, thank y'all for inviting us. Thank you for sharing your weekend with us. I'm like, you're welcome, because A lot of people get caught up in the mundane, hard things of life, and they don't know you can break free even for a little while and just enjoy the simpler things. Do something different. Find something new. Do it with your spouse. Laugh. I'm like, girl, sleep outside, because I've never slept outside with my husband. They never slept outside with their husbands either. Sleep in a tent. What about the rain? Enjoy the rain with your husband, because it rained. The tents. It was windy. It rained. Well, it didn't rain on us, but it rained while we were sleeping. But I mean, we just had a great time. So life is hard. Find some fun things to do, and that's what we try to do on purpose. And we've been going hard for the last couple of years because, like I said, it's been some challenging times. We'll talk about that on another episode when the Lord prompts my heart to do so.
Pat, we're just happy you're here tonight, Pat. We knew what it took to get you here.
Me
so
too.
We're just happy.
Yeah.
One episode at a time, Pat.
That's right. That's right. And like my wife said, those hard things that we went through, those seasons of life, it did draw us closer. It drew us closer first to God and then to each other. And then, the order was set. And me and my wife, we've been dealing with praying with each other and how important it is. And sometimes I'll miss, or sometimes I won't pray at night, and sometimes I'll forget to pray in the morning. But I do my best, and I'm gonna do better praying with her. And a lot of men choose not to for whatever reason. But I think it's one of the most intimate things you can do.
Did that come easy to you?
That didn't come easy to me for whatever reason. But I've learned that praying with your wife, it's a deeper intimacy because it shows that you're in tune with God and you're listening for His voice, and then you can communicate that with your wife, and then she can feel more secure in that, knowing that you're receiving from God. So in the morning before she go to go off to school and go to work, I pray over her. God, and it's not a deep, thus thou said the Lord. It's Lord, be my wife, watch over her, protect her, let her get to work safely.
Let the kids listen.
Let them have fun.
Yes.
Give her peace throughout the day. At night we say a prayer. We pray for our children and whoever we've heard somebody going through something. We'll try to pray for them, and it's just doing it on purpose and doing it intentionally. And I think you can miss nights, but try not to. And I'm trying my best not to just fall asleep, but intentionally make sure we're doing it each and every day. And that's just keeping things in order.
How often do you guys date?
Oh, man.
Okay, planned or okay. Well, it just depends.
At least weekly.
Yes, but I try to. My first goal, and we've superseded that goal, was to at least have something on my calendar at least once a month. So I usually have like 3 things a month. It can be going to a comedy show. Like we went to the retreat last week. This week we have a gala where we're going to get all dressed up. And then on April 19th, we're going to eat at a new restaurant in Abbeville. Yeah. So those 3 things, but that doesn't include what might happen during the week, because sometimes things happen spontaneously, but I try to put at least one thing on the calendar, but then it's been like three things, or sometimes it's every weekend. And we also went to a party March 25th. So we just tried to answer your question, at least once a month.
But
write it down, but it's usually more than that.
Usually more than that. In fact, at the retreat, at the marriage retreat, they told us to bring a gift. And the gift, what gift did I bring you?
Oh yeah, the gift. I had to think about it. The gift. So bring a gift if you wanted to for your spouse. So Marcus brought me a box of 50 100. 100?
100.
See, I wasn't being attentive. 100 dating cards. And the topics were adventure, romantic, and I don't remember the last one. But it was like some adventure cards, adventure dates, romantic dates, and I don't know the other group. And then you pick a card from whatever section, and it's like a lottery scratch off. And whatever it says to do and go, that's where you go. So we haven't started that yet, but I got that.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good. So we have to do those things.
Intentionally.
And I got him, it's not a date, but it's something that we need to do together because we have to find something to do together centered around his interests, because I really don't do, he does a lot of my interest things because I have all these great ideas. That's why, how can you not engage in all of my great ideas? So he just started doing pickleball. And so I bought him some new pickleball balls.
Yeah.
So he's really into that. I went one time. I'm going to go again, but just try to get into his world, because I don't really like football. I know I don't like football, but I don't dislike it. But I'll watch it, but I'm doing my own thing. But to find something that we can actively be engaged together. So I did pickleball, and I'll do it again because he really likes that a lot. But just find some common interests other than eating and going to the Goodwill, because that's what we like to do.
Yeah.
Y'all do too cute. Oh my goodness. I'm learning a lot about you and Marcus tonight. You know, a lot about what you guys like to do together and going thrifting together.
Oh, absolutely.
How were you able to get Marcus to come along with that? Is it just that you want to be with her, Marcus?
I just love doing it. Somebody like you more than her.
He's bad. But did you start off loving?
No, I didn't start off.
It came because of.
I started off by just going, and then I realized what I can find for myself, and how much money I can save. Oh, it's game over. When we walk in the thrift store, no matter what, it's like we split apart, and I'm gone. I'm going to get my finds. Yeah, and we'll come back together. I'm like, look what I found.
He just leaves.
And it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Tell me this, man. Do you guys see yourself at some point? Because I know you're connecting with other couples now, and you know, and it's all godly couples. Do you see you guys kind of going deeper into leading couples and doing things where you're kind of, you know, creating retreats yourself for couples, ministering couples, anything down along that path for you guys? You see that? Any desire to do that?
That's something I would actually love to do. Like I said, we did the Date You Make group. We did that for about 3 years, almost 3 years, right? And we stopped because of COVID in 2020. But I love connecting with couples and giving them tools, empowering them, making them better, bringing them to that next level of marriage. Because like I was sharing with you guys, we've been together since teenagers. So we've gone through our 20s and our 30s, 40s, entering our 50s. And we've had a lot of ebbs and flows, ups, downs, lefts, rights, all kind of stuff. And we've both grown individually and as a couple. So to take all of that we've gone through and pour back and invest in other couples, absolutely. Because, you know, couples are really struggling right now. And it's a lot to do with, you know, finances and lack of communication and it's all, you know, across the board. But any kind of hope or any kind of inspiration we can give, absolutely. Absolutely. Now,
he's mentioned that several times. He's mentioned that. I know that's something he would really want to do. I'm working on not holding my husband back. I'm working on that. I really am. I'm more of a behind the scenes type of person. I'm more of, okay, I support you. Go do that. But he can't go do that by himself, you know. So I did sign up without him telling me anything. I signed up to volunteer to help at the marriage couples retreat. So I'm taking baby steps. So that was a big baby step for me, you know. So I told Kevin and Nicole, you know, whatever you need us to do.
That was big.
That was big for me. So I'll take it. Yeah.
This is big.
This is big for me too. This is huge. So whatever the Lord wants to do, he's gonna let me know. He's gonna let me know.
Hey man, listen, I know this is big for you, Pat.
It is.
And it means a lot to us. It really do, because we know how big this is for you. You know, we really, really do appreciate you, man. Just being here, just being able to just chop it up, man, and just kind of really help somebody, because I really do believe everything you said tonight, both of you guys as a couple. I feel that someone will watch this and will be blessed by what you guys have shared tonight. I definitely
I was blessed.
Yeah, man. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah. See, the blessings already flowing, man. So good deal, man. But tell me this, man, because we right at the hour mark, and we don't want to, you know, overdo our time together. I know time was rolling so fast, but what would be one last thing, man, that you guys would share with a couple, you know, that may be? Here's what I find. with you guys, say for instance, right? We know that both of you guys are in Christ. You're both have a relationship with God, and no matter what your challenges were, and still are, and may even be in the future, because of the fact that you guys have Christ in your life, it's the struggle is going to be it's a little different. Not that you won't endure a struggle, but it's different. And I think it's because of the relationship that you both have with Christ, which it has gotten you to this point to where you are now, right? I feel the same way for us. I think if it had not been for God, who was on our side, I don't anyway, but you know what I'm saying? So but I see a lot of couples who maybe not as connected to God in their relationship, who don't have that God into their relationship, where they are praying for one another, praying together, right? Where maybe one is into God and the other one not so much. Those are the ones where I see a lot of different type of struggles rather than those who are both on the same page on his God journey, right? So the struggles are different, man. That we go through when you invite Christ into your marriage. And I just want to let you guys know, man, that I see God all in your marriage, man. Everything that y'all have said tonight, the way that y'all interact, the way God is in your marriage. And I don't think anyone who watched this can ever question that or doubt that, because I see it all in your marriage, man, and how you guys have grown and developed and how y'all interact. Y'all truly have a God thing going, man. And I'm inspired by it. I'm encouraged by it. And I really, really do appreciate you guys so much, man. So anything that you guys would share, man, for a couple who may not have God into their marriage and knowing that, like y'all said, that's where your joy come from. That's where my strength come from, right? How would you encourage another couple to connect with God and let him be the center of their marriage?
Well, I would say, well, just like you were saying, Christ is the center, and it's hard to do anything outside of Christ, and we often try, because we didn't start off with Christ being the center. We thought we did, but we really didn't, and of course it took time. But for those couples, I would encourage them to find a local church and to hook up with some really Christ-centered marriage couples like we've always done in our life. Also, stay what my wife called hot with each other. Honest, open, and transparent. Stay honest, open, and transparent throughout the marriage. And that way that communication can be built upon. And one more thing, like your spouse. Because it's one thing to love her, but I like her. And it's a different level when you like somebody. I like her. I love her.
Did you always like her, Marcus?
I really like her. I'm sorry.
Was there a time when you didn't like her? And Patricia, was there a time when you didn't like Marcus?
There are moments when I don't like him, but not like him to where it's a lengthy time. It might be like, I'm trying to think of an example. There's sometimes I don't like him, like, oh, I don't like him.
Oh, that's sometimes I don't like
getting on my nerves. I mean, I don't go to bed, wake up the next day and the next day and the next day, and that life becomes hate, or I'm out of love with you. No, I don't do that. But I mean, there's some Marcus can do some things that I don't like, which makes me feel like I don't like you right now, especially when he advocates for those kids. When he advocates for the kids, I'm like, dude, because it's like sometimes he's like child-centered, kid-centered. But I'm like, I don't want you to feel or tell me their perspective. Hear my perspective. Did you just see what your kid did? Did you just hear? And he'll rationalize and advocate for them. I don't like him in those moments. But then he comes around, So yeah, there are some times I don't like Marcus, but I don't stay in the I don't like you phase. I don't stay, because we end up talking about it. Even if I'm not being very kind, I try to stay kind. But if I'm not being kind, I'm going to tell you why I'm not liking you. And then that's where it goes straight to that heart. But then he has to say, okay, I'm not going to be prideful. I'm going to humble myself and listen to my wife so that doesn't start festering and growing into other things. So we're all human. So yeah, no, there's sometimes I don't like him. And I'm sure there are times he doesn't like me. But I mean, why would he like me? Why would he? But I mean, yeah, there are times I don't like him. I just try not to stay in that moment.
Right.
And we try to talk about everything. something for some people who may be struggling in their marriages, who don't know Christ. I would say, you know how some people say the only God a person will see is the God that's in you? Maybe find somebody whose marriage is going really well that you admire and trust, and try to get some information, some wisdom from them. You know, again, because I can't say that the couple that we admire weren't Christians. I can't say that because I really don't know. But we admired Marcus's cousins from afar. I mean, they appeared to have been in love. I don't know what their Christian, what their life, their spirituality was like. I don't even know what ours were like. But we just knew they were happy. They were in love. They appeared to be happy in love. They did vacations. They were fun people. And we wanted that because we never saw that. We saw the other kind of married people or the unmarried people. So if you don't know anyone, just try to find someone and see how they're doing what they're doing and what's working and how they get it to work. Right. And I think that, eventually, because of your heart, I think God will draw the people where they need to be and to get where they want to be. Because I think it starts with a desire to want to do better. Because a lot of times you don't know what you want or need if you never had it. So if you see it, then you'll attract it. And God has a way of bringing the people into your life to give you what you really need spiritually. And then the rest is history, I think. It's like a reeling in, because you don't have to. I mean, if you decide, okay, I don't want this for my life, and you start going towards the things that you do want for your life, it'll come. Mm-hmm. And then God will I believe God will put his hand on it because he orchestrates and plans those things for you. It starts with a willing heart. Anything starts with a willing heart. But you have to be willing, and I think that's what happened to us. Because I didn't know. I wasn't born in church. I went to church sometimes, I think my mom was a great mom, and I think she did the best she did in raising me to be respectful, to get your books. That's what she said. Get your education, get your lesson. But I felt the yearning for more came from God, but I didn't know it was God, and because I yearn for more and yearn for better, he's the only one that could give me the more and the better, that abundant life that comes from the commitment to Christ. But I didn't know all those things. I just knew I didn't want to be poor. I wanted a family. Let me go to school. Education is the key. That's all I knew. I didn't put God anywhere, but I did take my little white Bible with me to school. The King James Version, didn't understand it, but I took it with me to McNeese. I said my prayers the way my mama taught me to, and I did read the Bible. But again, I had a yearning and a willing spirit, and God worked with that. And I think that those seeds grew and blossomed into what it needs to be, and it's still growing and blossoming. But it starts with an idea and a yearning. So those couples that don't have Christ in their lives, but they have a willingness to want to do right and to do better, God's going to bring some people and some things and some situations in their life that's going to be water to those seeds that are there. And as they become more keen and drawn and baited in, I think it's going to grow and flourish. And he's going to get the glory eventually, because it's going to happen like this in a big circle, in a cycle. Because that's what happened to me. That's what happened to us. So we didn't know.
So good.
We didn't know. So that's my advice.
Ooh, Patricia, we're going to do another one with you and Marcus.
Is that right?
That first little thing, like, and now look at you. It's like all the gifts just pouring out of your mouth.
That's what they're doing.
No, man, that was truly good, man. So again, I think you guys really gonna help somebody tonight, man. Whoever watched this in the future. So I just want to thank you guys again, Pat. I know it's this thing your thing. I know my brother Marco, man. He always ready to go and inspire and encourage people. And I know this is was a little challenge for you, Pat, but we truly do appreciate it. So thank you guys tonight, man, for your wisdom and knowledge and what you sharing your heart, man, with us tonight. We truly do appreciate it, man. And I tell you this, man, I can't wait till this episode go live, because I think I'm gonna watch it over again myself just to continue to suck it up, because we continue to learn, man. Every time we do an episode, with couples, we're learning, we're growing and stuff too. We're taking it in. We're over here like a sponge, and it's helping us as well, man. So like Tanya said, you guys blessed us tonight, just from sharing your story. So we know it's going to do the same when other people get a chance to see it as well. So, hey, man, another episode down. So we're gonna get up on out of here. We do appreciate it. We do. Team Harris, y'all in the building. That's our people, man. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Hey, you want to, man, get involved with the conversation? Drop some comments in this episode. We'll comment back to you with our thoughts. We want y'all to be a part of the conversation. But until next time, man, this your boy Kev, man. This is my boo thing.
Tanya.
Man, this is Couple Connect, and we out. Peace.